Well, good morning and welcome to the New Orleans Saints pregame show. I'm John DeShazier. We're brought to you by Harrah's New Orleans, and we are at TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, Florida. To call it Sunsplash would be an injustice and an insult. It's sunny, it's warm, and the Saints and the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to go at it in a couple of hours from now. So continue to stay tuned for us. Now the Saints, let's get this out of the way first, are looking for a little bit of history today. If they get to 5-1, they're 4-1 now. If they get to 5-1, that will be the first time in franchise history that the team has had back-to-back 5-1 starts. So the Saints obviously looking for that bit of history against the Jaguars, who are 2-3. They're one game back of first place in the AFC South division. The Saints obviously lead the NFC South. Jacksonville comes in with a little bit of magic on its side, or a little bit of mania. Gardner Minshew, the rookie quarterback, has had a fantastic start to this season. He came in the season opener when Nick Foles was injured. Since then, Gardner Minshew has completed 110 of 155 passes for 1,279 yards, 9 touchdowns, only 1 interception. So he's given this offense a jump start. However, the Saints have had a little bit of magic at quarterback for themselves. This will be the 4th consecutive start for Teddy Bridgewater, coming off his best game of the season, obviously, and one of the best games of his NFL career against Tampa Bay. Completed 26 of 34 passes, 314 yards, 4 touchdowns, only 1 interception, and Teddy Bridgewater really looks smooth in that 33-27 victory against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And in fact, Bridgewater says he's getting more and more comfortable with this offense.
It's hard to, measure it, but, I'm just playing the game. I'm enjoying it, living in the moment. I'm confident in doing so. These guys around here, we all feed off of each other, and it's a confident group. So for me, I step into the huddle and I'm looking into the guys' eyes, and you see those guys exuding that confidence. For me as a player, it's like, man, these guys are so confident that I have to be as confident as those guys.
Now, lest we forget, this is not a one-man offense for the Saints. Teddy Bridgewater got a lot of help from Michael Thomas last week. 11 catches, 182 yards, a couple of touchdowns. Also, help will be provided today by running back Alvin Kamara. Goes from questionable to in, and that's a good thing for the Saints offensively, because this Jacksonville defense allows 137 rushing yards per game on 5.5 yards per carry. That's the most in the NFL, so don't be surprised if the Saints want to run it a little bit more than usual, because this defense seems to lend itself to that for the Saints. Now defensively, we'll flip it over. The Saints have 16 sacks this season. They had 6 sacks against Tampa Bay last week, and they're really warming it up defensively, especially against the run, performing extremely well. They will need that against Minshew. Now, Minshew's been sacked 12 times, and he also lost 3 fumbles last week in a loss for Jacksonville. The Saints know exactly what they need to do defensively, and we'll let Cam Jordan, defensive end, and linebacker Demario Davis tell you a little bit more about that.
He's done a heck of a job. I mean, the way he scrambles, the way he extends plays. I mean, this is one of, I wouldn't even say the fastest quarterback, because I mean, you look at his 40 time, he's not rolling like that. But at the end of the day, he is. He's playing faster on film than what you'd be accustomed to with somebody who's supposed to run the way he is. He's picking up first downs. I mean, he's extending plays, and DJ Shark and Dede is out there, clearly extending those types of plays, and that's something that can wear down a defense. So we got to be mindful of that. We got to keep them in the pocket. We got to be able to put a cap on the receivers, because they're out there making explosive plays.
Oh, speaking of Minshew, let me let y'all know, it's my shirt. Can I hang this up right here? Can y'all see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm a Gardner Minshew. I'm a huge fan of Gardner Minshew. We went to the same high school, by the way, and so not too often you see 2 Brandon High School alums, playing head-to-head. It don't happen much, and for him to be a starting quarterback in the NFL is huge. So the city of Brandon and all of Rankin County is really excited right now. It's a big game. So I'm happy for him. I'm happy for the success he's had. I think he's done an incredible job of doing what the coaches have asked him to do, stepping into a situation where he was thrown in the fire, and he's making good on it. He's dangerous when he's able to get outside the box. He's really good at keeping plays alive. I think they're a threat all the way around. They got a really sound running game. Offensive line is blocking well. One of the top backs in the league. Some really good receivers on the outside who make explosive plays. So it's going to be a good challenge for us.
Just heard from Marcus Davenport. And aside for you here, Alvin Kamara is on the field working out as we speak with a pair of cleats that will make Michael Jackson proud. Hopefully he'll be able to moonwalk into the end zone a couple times today. Now also for the Saints, we're going to talk about what they've been able to do against with Marcus Davenport, because Marcus Davenport, I'm sorry, we hadn't talked to him yet, but Marcus Davenport coming up has been phenomenal for this defense so far. Had a couple of sacks against Tampa Bay, also forced a fumble. He's been a force along with that entire defensive line. Saints have played extremely well defensively this entire 3-game winning streak, but now Marcus Davenport appears to be coming into his own.
I'm more unhappy about what I didn't do, so I think that's a good driving force. And those plays that I missed, plays that I could have done better, plays where I wasn't really much of a factor, and so that's what I got to work on and build on.
Where have you seen the biggest growth in your game?
More or less just confidence, just trying to play my own game. My teammates, like I said before, teammates, coaches, and just all around supportive really helped me in that.
Usually we talk about all 3 phases, and we continue to do that here with special teams. We know what Will Lutz gives you at kicker. We know what Thomas Morstead gives you at punter. However, if the punt return has been a little bit of a concern lately with rookie receiver Deontay Harris. He's put a couple on the ground, hadn't had the best judgment this season, and that's somewhere where the Saints want to see improvement, whether it be fielding punts and certainly with the ball security. He's muffed a couple this season, and they don't want to see that ball on the ground from the punt returner. Those can be game-changing plays, certainly momentum-swinging plays. So Deontay Harris probably needs to be a little bit more secure with the football. Decision-making can stand a little bit of improvement. It's a process, but we know returners who end up with the ball on the ground end up being ex-returners for their team. So hopefully that's an area that has been addressed and will continue to improve for Deontay Harris. Well, that's it for the pregame show here. I'm John DeShazier. Now continue to watch us here on NewOrleansSaints.com, obviously throughout the game. We'll finish it up with myself and Mike Haas with the postgame report. But during the game, you can check it out on WWL-TV, local Channel 4 back home in New Orleans. Also listen on WWL Radio with Zach Streif and Deuce McAllister on the call. I'm John DeShazier. The Saints are at TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, Florida, looking to have a little bit of history here. Another 5-1 start would be the second time in as many seasons, and that would be the first time the Saints have had back-to-back 5-1 starts in franchise history. Let's see if they can make a little history here in Jacksonville.